Hi, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to another episode of Next Meridian Expedition. Today we're going to be talking about shipping in general. So you have roll-on, roll-off, and the container shipping. I'm going to try and talk about everything that I know from this experience. We've only done it once, so we might miss out a few details, and this is an experience that we had shipping from Europe to Canada. So if you're going to South America, I don't know if there's different documents or different needs or controls. But anyways, if you're shipping elsewhere in the world, same thing. But if you're shipping anyways from Europe to North America, I believe the rules would be the same. I might miss out some details, but I'll try my best to put everything in there. Right now I'm in the middle of Canada right now, in the middle of the forest and in the Gaspésian area. Starting just with shipping in general, so if you ever are thinking of shipping your own vehicle, the reason why we did it is because we wanted to keep our own vehicle. I mean, it's our home, we've built on it, we've prepared it, we know what we get out of it, there's our own bed, we know how it functions, we have a Land Rover Defender, and we want our vehicle to be the one that brings us around the world. And so this is why we ship our vehicle, because you could also rent a car, you could buy a car there and sell it again. A lot of people do this in Australia or New Zealand, it's very common, but we wanted to have our own car. Now, there's a lot of information online about how to ship a car, how much does it cost, what are the documents you need. There's a lot of things you can find online, and what I'm going to try and do right now is try to put everything that I know from point A to point Z all in one video, okay? We asked ourselves the exact same questions as you about 2 years ago, like how do we ship? Is it easy? Is it expensive? Oh, how many documents do I need? Will a Land Rover fit in a ship? Can I even ship a Land Rover? What's the height maximum? What's the size? What documents do I need? What insurance do I need? How much in advance do I need to book it? Do I fly the same day as the car arrives? Anyways, there's a lot of questions that you may ask yourself, and I'm going to try and go through everything. So I'm going to pull out my phone just because I took down a few notes, and I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. There's a lot of flies around here, so you might see me scratching myself or moving flies away from my face. Anyways, okay. Let's start first with the type of shipping that exists out there. You have something called RoRo, roll-on, roll-off, and something called container shipping, okay? So container shipping is literally a metal container, so a rectangle cube, and there's two types from what I know. There's multiple types, but there's two common types. One is called a 20-foot cube, right, and that fits one vehicle or multiple motorbikes if you're going around with motorbikes or cycling. If you're cycling, most probably you'll take it by plane. For motorbikes, I know you can also take it by plane, much faster. I don't know if it's cheaper, but that's also a possibility. So I'm going to talk mostly about vehicles in terms of cars. Now, 20 feet container, you can fit vehicles in there, just one vehicle. And I think the maximum height is 2.4 meter or 2.3 meter. That has to be checked. So you can deflate the tires to make it fit in and then reflate them a little bit, because I think the entrance is 2.25 or 2.3, and then once you're inside it goes up to 2.4, 2.5. So that's the first thing to know. There's also the 40-foot cube, and the 40-foot cube you can actually fit two vehicles in there, so you can share the container. Sharing a container can actually be advantageous because it can be cheaper. Roll-on, roll-off is different because you need to leave the vehicle key with the agent of the port, and they will be the ones driving it from the port into the ship, and then off the ship into the port of arrival. So in our case, we gave the keys at the port of Hamburg, and then the staff took care of putting it on the boat and then offloading it in Halifax in Canada. Now, different ports manage the management of the keys of the vehicle differently. We heard that in Belgium, in Antwerp, they leave the key hanging on the middle mirror, so the car is unlocked and the key is visible and available. And with this key, then people can open up different storages if they had the time or in the evening come by. Now, in Hamburg, the story is different, and I'm sure different ports are different, but those are the two ports that I know. And in Hamburg, I know that they take away the keys, they put them in a storage area and they lock it up, so it's safe. Now, anything can happen anyways, but it's a bit safer. In terms of roll-on, roll-off, you can also choose which port might be safer. We did the Hamburg port because of that reason, but also because we were coming down from Scandinavia and it was easier to stop in Germany rather than going all the way down to Belgium. Container shipping is expensive compared to roll-on, roll-off. The reason why is if you bring your car to the port, you will put it inside this container, they will lock up the doors, and you will get to keep, in most cases, the key of the container that you will then open up when it reaches your destination. Okay, and so that's pretty safe because you can leave in the container almost all of your belongings and normally nothing should happen to it. So for example, to give you an idea of the prices we were proposed, this was in April 2022, so after COVID, when prices had increased a lot, the container for us for Hamburg to Halifax was proposed at around 5,500 to 6,000 euros, okay? And that was for the 20-foot container. Now a 40-foot container, it was proposed at 8 to 9,000 euros. Now, of course, if you do a 40-foot container and you find a buddy to share it with, or a person who would be ready to share it with you, then you split the price in half and it would bring you to 4,500. So a bit cheaper than 20-foot container. Now, roll-on, roll-off costed us 1,900 plus an extra 100 euros in Canada, so 2,000 in total. It's much cheaper. The only difference is the security issue where if you have belongings and you're going to leave it in the vehicle, then you have a risk that some stuff might disappear. In our case, nothing disappeared, everything was fine. What we did though is we did chain up and lock up the different doors. Now from there, you have different companies who can ship it. So the big names are Seabridge, IVSS, Belgaco, and these are the three that I know which are pretty well known. Now if you're shipping from Germany or from Belgium towards Canada or South America, you also have overlander shipping and caravan shippers. We used overlander shipping. They are, I think they're all more or less the same, pretty good. Seabridge seems to be the one that everybody uses, and IVSS seems to be also one that a lot of people use because they have a lot of experience. They've been on the market for a while. But anyways, up to you to pick. So in terms of companies, there's a lot of companies out there, and those companies actually they're like brokers. What they do is they're the ones who find the vessels and the companies who manage these vessels, and they're the ones who book a spot for you. So it's better to go to those agencies, right? Because then you would be able to let them manage the booking of the ship, what time the ship arrives, which day you should deliver the car. They'll take care of all your paperwork, and they'll give you a contact in the destination country. So in our case, Overlander Shipper took care of us in Germany. They gave us a contact in Halifax and said this is the broker who will take care of clearing your vehicle. So technically they give you all they facilitate everything. That would be the best way to do it. I heard that you can get in contact with the vessel. It might be cheaper, but probably not that much. And on top of it, you're taking a lot of risk on managing everything yourself. And it's never that clear and easy on how to ship a car, how to custom clear it. I just think it would be easier to just go with a broker, and everybody's doing that, so might as well do it as well. To give you an idea, so the process is you find your company, you ask them for pricing, they give you a pricing, you accept it or not, and you can ask different companies at the same time. What I've heard is that the companies aren't extremely happy when you get evaluations from different companies, because the thing is the vessel finds out that you have booked with so many different companies, and they might end up pushing you to a different vessel or to a later date. So the best is you get quotes from different companies, but pick one and stick to that one. Otherwise you're just going to start mixing up all the dates and the vessels are gonna start getting confused. So pick one of the brokers, get a pricing, pick a date. They will show you a schedule of the ships. So normally there's one every week or one every 2 per week. And so you say, okay, I want that boat. And you need to bring the vehicle 3 days in advance, okay? So you do not pay anything to the broker until that vehicle has been shipped. So what you need to do is just send your passport, your vehicle information, and that's it actually. Your passport and vehicle information plus your home address to the broker. They will then send you a document saying, okay, here is the invoice for when you will be shipping your vehicle, and that's it. Then you meet the agency at port. At the port you will need to wear a yellow jacket, a little vest, and you will need to have cleaned the vehicle as well. The vehicle needs to be very clean. That means inside just a sponge is enough. You don't need to clean out all the little dirt parts. Well, if there's dirt you might have to clean it off, but you don't need to make sure that it's flashy, and it just has to be clean. The outside, what they care about is the soil. So your car doesn't need to be flashy, but it needs to have no soil, big soil. So we just hose it down at a car wash, especially the underneath. It depends where you ship it. If you ship it to Australia, it's very strict. We heard that you have to clean it with a toothbrush. You might as well have seen a video from Grizzly and Bear overlanding. They will give you a good idea of how clean the car has to be. But you just need to make sure the vehicle is soil free. And I would say the day you bring it to port, just give it one last spray underneath and in the wheel arches so that you're sure that you won't get a fine when it arrives into the destination. Now, once you bring it to port, you will fill out some paperwork that says we have looked at the vehicle together, we have taken photos, we have taken a video of what the vehicle looks like, and we've noted all the scratch marks or the dents. Once you have done the evaluation of the vehicle, you will then go with the broker to the office, the port's office. So when you're at port, you will go with the broker to the office. The broker will talk for you and fill out some paperwork, which will literally take 2 minutes. You have nothing to do. They will then give you your ticket, right? And that ticket is what you keep with you until you reach Halifax. Now, once you have that ticket, they will tell you, okay, why don't you bring your vehicle into the port and just park it there. Once you park it, you will leave the keys with the person who manages the port, and that's it. So it's actually very easy. You just drive to port, overview the vehicle with your agents, with your broker, go with the broker to the office of the port. They will fill out some paperwork for like 5 minutes, and then you will just drive your car into the port, leave the keys with the staff of the port, and that's it. Now in terms of the moment when you've dropped the car, you will have to pay the bill to the company. When you pay the invoice, the broker will send you a bill of lading. A bill of lading is a document that testifies that your vehicle has left Hamburg and should arrive in Halifax, and that paper is important, so you should save it. That's the only paper you will get from your broker, but you'll also get the information of the customs office in your arrival destination. And you will wait till your broker will tell you the car has left the port and should arrive more or less at an estimated date. He will give you an estimated date. At that date, you can try and land your flight at that date. So I wouldn't book your flights until you know your vessel has left. The reason why is because if there's any delay or problems, so for example they have an issue with your vehicle, or they need you to open up the vehicle and show them what products you're bringing over, they might want to check it. So if you have flown out already, then you're gonna have to fly back, and that's really a pity. So what we noticed is booking your flight a bit last minute might be a little more expensive, but at the same time you'll sort of save on costs by not paying hotel rooms in that destination. So one night in Halifax was about 70 euros per night. Easily, if you arrive 10 days early, then you're spending 700 euros. What I recommend is that you fly, unless you want to visit where you're going. So we landed in Halifax. We wanted to visit Halifax for like about 2 days. I would recommend, actually, and this we learned it after we had booked our flights, is that we could land the same day as the car arrives, because anyways you need to wait 48 hours of clearance until the car is ready to be cleared out of the port and be given to you. and there's nothing you can do within the 48 hours. I've heard you could get it cleared in 24 hours if you negotiate with your customs office in your arrival destination, so Halifax in this case. You could unlock the car 24 hours later, but it's not certain. So we landed a few days before, and we actually had 5 days in Halifax, which was a little bit long. So I would really recommend landing a day before or on the same day. There's no worry about it. There's nothing you can do, and the port will take care of everything anyways, and you just have to come and pick it up. So land whenever you want, but you don't need to land that far in advance. There's nothing you can do until the customs call you and say, okay, you can come and pick it up. Now, once you arrive in your destination, so Halifax in this case, you contact your broker and say, hey, I've arrived, the vessel is supposed to arrive today, let's meet and let's do the paperwork. The person at the customs office already has everything given by your broker. So all you have to do is meet the customs office in your destination. They will just give you the bill of lading stamped, and they will give you, I think, 3 copies. One for the customs agency, and one for the port, and one for yourself. The one for yourself is very important. You make copies, because this is the only way that you can testify your vehicle has been legally imported. So keep the original and give out the copies if they are needed throughout your travels. The 2 other copies that you have from the 3 that the broker gives you, one you give to the agency, the customs agency. This will take 5 minutes. They will just take out the paper, look at it. If everything is in order, they stamp it. And this paper, then you bring it to the port. They look at the stamp. If they see that the customs has cleared it with the stamp, then they will say, okay, here you go, here are the keys, and you can drive off. And that's the point where you check your vehicle. If you see any damages or any differences that are from that reporting you had done with your broker back in your home country. Now from there, you just drive out of the port, finished. It is that easy. So in total, in terms of documents, you only had to send 3 documents: passport, license, and your address. Now, pay the bill once the boat has left to the broker, receive this bill of lading, get your flights, arrive more or less 48 hours before the vessel is cleared. So land the same day as the boat, or a few days before if you really want to spend a few days visiting, and then go meet your customs broker in the arrival port. Go to the custom clearance, get it stamped, go to the port, show them the stamp, get your vehicle, check your vehicle, and drive out. That's it. In total, really, we spent, I think, really in total, the 3 steps at arrival, we spent, I think, 5 minutes with the broker to get the papers, 5 minutes at the customs to get the stamp, and we probably had to wait 20 minutes at the port for them to find our car and bring it over to us. Honestly, it was so fast. Right, so I'm just babbling on, but those are the steps. Now, of course, when you go to a destination, so for example, if you're shipping to Halifax, or if you're shipping outside of the continent, you will definitely need a few important documents which are parallel to the shipping. You will need an international license. This you can get it from your country. So you just write to your road authority or driving license authority and you tell them, I also need an international license. In France, it's via the website ANTS, and it's actually free. However, the delays can be quite long. It could be between 2 months to 3 months. In France, it's 2 months, so we had to wait 2 months, and it's free and it arrives. You can order that even before you ship it, and you should, because once you've left the country, it will be hard to get a hand of that international license. So you need the original license and the international license when you go to destination. So I have them both on me for Canada. You will need to buy an insurance in advance. So if you are going to, I think, South America, you can buy the insurance at the port at arrival, and you don't need to prepare anything in advance, but you need to check. For Canada, the US, and Mexico, you need to buy them in advance. There are different companies. I used the company called Seguro Gringo. The reason why I picked them is because they let you buy insurance in 30-day increments. So I bought 3 months in one go because I know I'm going to spend 3 months. But if I want to add 30 days more, I can do that. There are other insurance like thumb insurance, so THUM insurance, or TD insurance. And I think there's another one, but I can't remember the name. Those you have to buy in 6 months packs. And I don't think they reimburse you if you do 3 months like myself. So you need to check that. But you need to buy the insurance ahead of time, and that's really easy. For Seguro Gringo, I had written them an email saying, hey, I'm interested in buying an insurance, can you show me the pricing and the package? They gave me the feedback, and then they told me contact me a week before you arrive and we will just do everything. And literally a week before, I sent them an email saying, hey, I want to insure it starting this date for 3 months, and I will be Canada and USA. And they said, okay, here's the insurance, and literally they send you an invoice, you pay for it, and then they send you that card that says you're insured. That's super easy as well. There's something called carnet de passage. Carnet de passage means passport for your vehicle. This depends where you go. You can check the carnet de passage of your country, so it's the same as the road authority. Usually they take care of your license, and also they have the carnet de passage. You can Google on carnet de passage, and you can check which country requested. Just to tell you, all of the Americas, you technically don't need the carnet de passage. You'll need them mostly in African country and some Middle Eastern countries, and I think some Asian countries, and for sure Australia as well. Without a carnet de passage, it's impossible for you to import your car. The reason why is a carnet de passage is a passport that testifies that your car not only is yours, but is going to come back to your home country. The reason why is they don't want, some of these countries, they don't want you to bring your car over, do your travels, and then sell it and leave it there. They want you to bring it back to your home country. And the only way you get a carnet de passage is by leaving a deposit of the value of the vehicle. The value will not be checked. So for example, we have a Land Rover. The value could easily be, I'm just gonna make an estimate, right? It could be like 30,000 euros. On the carnet de passage, you can write 10,000. It's fine. You don't need to have the same value of the market price. And then you will have to deposit that value. You tell the carnet de passage office that you think your vehicle is worth, and so you need to leave 10,000 euros, for example, at your carnet de passage. Depends, it could be 5,000, depends. You're the one who picks actually the price. It shouldn't be too low, but it shouldn't be market value, because you don't want to be leaving 30,000 of deposit. You will get this deposit back when the vehicle is brought back to your home country, okay? So you need to check on carnet de passage of your home country which countries request carnet de passage. And mostly Africa, Asia, and for sure Australia. The Americas, from north to south, you don't need it. Well, for a European anyway. Now, other things that you can get in parallel is personal insurance. It's always good to get personal insurance, especially when you're doing big travels like this. We got one from Chapka Insurance, which is a French company which insures overlanders or travelers. It could be by motorbike vehicle, it could be cycling by foot, it can be anything. It could even be if you're teleworking from a different country. I mean, they do tons of different insurance, and it's very clear. It's a neo insurance, so you could easily check out what they propose, and I think the prices are pretty competitive, but actually multiple insurance, so just check with your home country and see what it is. Another thing that you can think of in parallel is look at the different SIMs that they propose in your arrival country. So we are in Canada, we had checked the different SIMs, and we just picked one of the operators. So that's something you can do in advance. Now you can also check if your country allows eSIMs, and if your phones work with eSIM, it's technically an electronic SIM. So instead of getting a physical SIM that you put into your phone, you buy online an eSIM, right? And you will get a QR code by email, and with your phone you just scan the QR code, and automatically it takes your phone's IP or ID and it connects it to the internet. And that way you can also get internet directly without having to order a SIM, wait for it. So you can check the SIMs. Another thing that we did is the banks. Check with your bank if they have different cards that offer different commissions or different cashbacks depending on if you're traveling elsewhere. So we took something which is very global called Revolut, and with Revolut you can spend, I think the basic, which is the one I have, where you pay €0 per year and you get up to 1,000 or 1,500 euros for free without having any commission, and that's pretty great. So the battery died, so here I am again. Revolut as well, you can have different currencies. So for example, we have it set in euros as a home country, but then right now we're in Canada, and automatically I was able to transfer money from euros to dollars. So now on Revolut I have now two currencies, and automatically your card, when you go to the ATM or you go to a restaurant or a shop, then automatically it will find the currency. If it is in American dollars, then it will take that from my account, and if it's anything else, then it will take from the main account, which is euros. So, and you can have as many as possible. So I could have American dollars, US dollars, then Mexican pesos, and I can have everything on the card, and automatically, depending on where I spend, it will take that money. And then I can easily exchange. So if I leave Canada, exchange the money from Canadian dollars to US dollars. That's where I'm going next. So that's Revolut. So just check out there what bank you have, but this is something really important when you're traveling, just because otherwise you're gonna have so many fees and commissions, which is just not helpful. And also at digital banking, it's very easy to get someone on the phone online or a chat to be able to get a service, or be able to digitally lock or unlock your card. So that's very helpful for when you're traveling, because you don't want to be calling your bank back in your home country to unlock a problem. Anyways, these are just tips and tricks that we think make your life easier on the road. National Park Pass. So we're going to do a lot of parks, national parks or provincial parks. There is a national park pass in some countries that you may travel to. Here in Canada there is a park pass, so we ended up buying this. That's something you can do. In the US there's one as well. In Canada it was $150 Canadian dollars. In parallel, you will also need to do your visa. This is something you just need to check depending on the country you're flying from and which passport you hold. You will need to do a visa, and depending where you're going, you need to check what the visa rules are, and if it's done in the embassy or digitally, or in the country of arrival. Here in Canada we had to do it online. It's called ETA, and we did it all online, and it was very simple. Then there's now, because of COVID, you need to also fill out COVID documentation, and you need to also check the regulations for that, obviously. But I think now we're all aware that this is what we need to know when we travel. COVID is also now part of that travel regulation and restrictions. In Canada it's called ArriveCan, so you apply on there, fill out all your paperwork and show how many vaccine shots you have. To arrive in Canada I think you need 2 shots, so we had them, so that's okay. But if you're going to Canada, then make sure you check, and if you don't have it, then there's other possibilities of getting into Canada by doing checks and maybe quarantine, things like that. So anyway, I hope this video has been helpful. Please leave your comments in the section below, and if I forgot anything, then I will get back to you. If you want a quick reply, then write to us on Instagram, otherwise we'll reply here on YouTube as well. But anyways, if I forgot anything, let me know, and if I got anything wrong, let me know as well, because then at least I will know what I don't know. And yeah, so have a good evening and all the best in your future travels. Bye bye.